Dating. It's pretty rough these days, my brothers and sisters. You throw your shot, you either miss or you hit, and then you dip. But regardless, dating. You find a person, you vibe perhaps, and then something happens, like sparks fly in the light sky, like shooting stars. Never mind. I'm sorry I said that, and I'm sorry I bled your ears for a bit, but regardless, dating. It seems like the internet always has a solution for everything. I've dated before. I liked it. I dated another time. I didn't really like it. So, what better way than to judge a person's character than to do an internet survey by determining what is my type? That's right. If you haven't seen this channel by now, I don't blame you. But there is one type I am very intrigued in. The goth blonde baddie. I am into goth blonde baddies. Yes. But I am not, you know, deterrent to any type. If I vibe with the person, I vibe with the person. I look at the eyes, I see the soul. You may have a 10 out of 11 body, but you may be, I don't know, kicking puppies or something. So this survey determines what is your type. It feels like a questionnaire and all that, and it seems to be getting some traction. The guy only had 5 comments and his website is kind of broken, so take that as you will. It's like a secret VIP club. You got to keep refreshing the page to see if it works. So I decided I'm going to keep refreshing, and I did get it to work. I'm going to take this test, and can this test determine what is my type? Can it guess exactly what it is? So here it is. You can find this on Clearer Thinking. Again, you have to refresh it like 27,000 times. So finally got it to work. Who attracts you? Thanks for being interested in our study on attraction. This is part of broader research conducted by clearthinking.org to understand all the drivers of attraction, including both psychological and physical drivers. You'll be asked to rate how attractive you find different people based on images of them. Your response will be kept private. At the end of the study, you have the option, if you choose, to see a report showing you your primary type and auxiliary types that you seem to be most attracted to, as well as other interesting analysis about your attraction. Ooh, is it getting steamy in here? Not really, but the study takes about 10 minutes for the integrity of our scientific data. It's critical that you give honest answers. By participating in this study, you are consenting to having your completely anomalized responses used for research, data analysis, prediction, and publication purposes. This study has no known risk other than the possibility of learning things about your attraction that might surprise you or make you uncomfortable. We'll see about that, buddy. Before we have you rate how attractive you find different people, we have some info we need from you. When you're single and considering going on dates, how important is you the other person's looks? Again, I like the person's soul, but let's not deny, let's not pretend we're all saints. Physical attraction is somewhat important. I know, call me a bit shallow, but if it's a goth blonde baddie, that's already a yes. Even if, she might be the evilest scum on the earth, I'll beg like a dog. I have integrity, but there's only one kind of type that can put me down. So I'm going to put somewhat important. I'm not going to act like a white knight and pretend I'm, a holy saint. So how do you identify in terms of your orientation? I am straight, I believe. I do like women, believe it or not. Of the people you find attractive, what percentage are the opposite? Other YouTube doesn't like that word. I'm trying to be careful here. To you versus the same as you. I'm trying to read that again, just making sure I'm reading it again. This is yes, I do like women. Are you typically attracted most to people that are conveniently attractive, that most people find attractive? You have, what does that mean? Unusual taste. I'm just going to assume that's unusual taste. And there is another type I may have. Again, another unrealistic take, but I like the really shaggy, introverted, shy girl kind of look. I know no one really dresses like that. It's more of an anime thing. Call me a gooner, call me a weeb. But I like that. Aside from the goth blonde baddies, so It's highly attracted, conveniently attracted people. That's really subjective. So, mostly attracted to conveniently attractive here. Most often attracted to about equal. More often attracted to unusual. Unusual people definitely have their quirks. Not like serial killer kind of quirks, but more like, they put milk first, then cereal. Kind of unusual. So I kind of vibe with that a little bit more. So. Which of these best describes you? Man, I am a man, I believe. What country do you live in? I live in the United States. Very united. Or is it? United States, the good old USA. How old are you? You don't need to know that. Now you know I'm almost unk. If you were single, what is the youngest age of someone you'd be willing to date? Please only choose an age where you absolutely would not consider dating someone who is below that age. I mean, back in my day, my parents, they were like a 8-year-old difference. I know some people might look at that and they're like, pedo! But if they're both adults, then, let them decide for themselves. It really just depends. Like, I'm not talking like cougar level or, MILF level, 40 years, 20 years, but I guess like, I don't know, 23 is the lowest I'll go. You were single. What is the oldest age of someone you'd be willing to date? Well, I wouldn't be objected to a cougar, that's for damn sure, depending who they are. But, we always had that teenage fantasy. If you've been there, you've been there. Cougar, when you're 18. I've had those fantasies too. I'm not going to deny. So, I'm attracted to older women. It's not crazy to think about. I'm kind of, throwing off my fetishes here. Cougars are pretty great, but not, physically they're great. I'm trying to defend myself here, but I don't know, 50, 50, I guess. Like grandmas are different, but a cougar, like when does the cougar age stop, If you were single and interested in meeting new people, who would you want to be matched with as potential dates? I would only want to be matched with men for dates. No, I would somewhat prefer to be matched with men rather than women. But I'd be open to both. No, no preference. Equally happy with you. I would somewhat prefer to be matched with women. I would only want to be matched with women. Again, I am straight. So you will be shown a series of images of people one at a time. It's important that you understand the instruction so that we can collect high quality data that our scientific study requires. Yes, the research. Important information. For each photo, we like to imagine that all three of the following things are true. You are single. You are open to going on dates. The person shown will be willing to go on a date with you. Keeping all... Damn. I don't know about that third one. Keeping all three of our things in mind, rate how attractive you would find each person shown, wherever you'll be willing to go on a date with them. Besides the three conditions above, rate as you are now. Don't pretend to be someone you're not. Don't pretend to be a different age than you are. Okay, sorry, I want to be better than who I am. If you would be willing to go on a date with a person shown in the assumed scenario, choose one of the first three options depending on how romantically and or sexually attractive you find them. Very attractive romantically to me, we'll go on a date. Attractive romantically to me, we'll go on a date. Someone romantically, you would not be willing to go on a date with a person shown in the assumed scenario, choose one of the bottom three options depending on how attractive you find. This reminds me of a school test. Like, are we doing the dating thing or are we like full on studying my preferences or something? Someone unattractive, romantically, very unattractive. Here, romantically means in a way that is connected with romance, love, and a sexual relationship. There are no right or wrong answers. We're interested in your honest personal preferences. To make sure you understand the instructions, what should you imagine is true when you're rating each person? That you are not a real person. That you are not single. Only that the person shown is a real person. That you should rate how attractive most other people would find this person. Let me read that again. To make sure you understand the instruction, what should you imagine is true when you're rating each person? I guess that they're real. that you are single, that you're open to going on dates, and pretty sure we're willing to. I'm pretty sure that was the right answer, right? That's right. Let's begin the ratings. Here's the first person for you to rate. Consider if you were single and open to going on dates, how romantically attractive would you find this person? Would you be interested in going on a date with them, assuming they are willing to do so? It's just personal preference. There's nothing wrong with her. I'm sure she's a nice stock image lady, but just based on physical attractiveness, again, this is a picture. I don't know her backstory or anything. She's not my type. Respectfully, I respectfully decline. There is nothing wrong with her. I just want to say that for any choice that comes later, if I reject, it's because they're just not physically attracted to me. There's a big difference between what people might think or people might not think, you know? So, hmm. I guess I would put somewhat unattractive. She's just not physically my type. Same with this person. They're just not my type either. I don't know. I like them a little bit, not too, like, I'm just saying physically. She might be a nice person, maybe if I got to know her, but just based off physical attraction, she's not my type. So I'm just gonna say unattractive. She's a nice lady, but again, not really my type. I mean, it's kind of like the very long chin. Again, like I like them a little bit squishy, a little squishy face, but again, I'm not throwing down anybody or anything. This is just for fun. This is not, what if, it's just a what if scenario. It's not canon. I guess somewhat. Not really. I don't really like the hair. I mean, somewhat. I don't want I don't want to be mean. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to say not very attracted to me. Again, this is what ifs. I'm not hurting anybody's feelings, so uh just kind of looks like Mary Jane kinda. I guess someone. No internet connection. Oh, whoa, hold up. Okay, I fixed it. So this is the next one. If you're bald because you choose to be bald, you think it's a fashion statement. To me, it's not really attractive. But if there is like different situations like chemo or something, I get it, you know. But just like bald in general, not really. No hate to the bald people again, but it's just not my type. Um, I don't know why he keeps doing that. We'll just go to Rock. She's quite old. Not that that's a problem, but um. She's alright. She's alright. Okay. Hmm. I'd say somewhere in the middle. She looks fine. Is that? Hmm. I guess someone romantically. She looks fine. Someone. Again, we're doing this for fun. I need to clarify that it is not to demoralize women or anything. So, it's just a survey. All right. It's not taken out of context. She's alright. Ooh, I say someone. I like the hair. She looks a little bit too young. Is this like a predator catch or something? I don't know. She looks a little bit too young in my opinion. So I'm just good. It's not that she looks bad. It's just that she looks a little bit too young to me. Ooh, okay. I might like the Asian, you know. Again, I'm not being racist or anything. They're just my type. So I say in the middle. She looks cool. She kind of looks like a tomboy, kind of like a buddy, like a best friend you might get a beer with or something. I go somewhere. Ooh, oh! I'm not sure why her eyes are like staring into my soul. Okay, I got flashbanged for a second. I don't know if you're staring at me like that. That's very unattractive. I don't know. You're staring into my soul. She's pretty cute. I like it. She's all right. Kind of almost looks like a grandma, but more the merrier, I guess. She's pretty nice. I like the red hair. Not my type. She has the Albert Wesker going on. It works for dudes, but I don't know about chicks, so not really my type. She looks cool. I like the hair somewhat. I like the smile. I'm gonna put someone. She looks like the bossy kind of woman, but she's like a freak or something. So somewhat. I like the blunt bangs. Those are cute. The weird no eyebrows thing though, like Super Saiyan 3, is a little bit weird to me, but it's like a weird attractiveness. I get. I'm gonna put someone. That's a dude. No. That is also a dude. No. That is a girl. So she's pretty cute. I like the blonde hair. Kind of reminds me of like one of my high school teachers. Um, she's all right, but man, kind of boring. Maybe I don't know. Like I don't know anything about her person. She looks like a Tanisha to me. So I'm gonna put someone. I guess I like the hair and all that. The lipstick a little bit too much. Maybe about the lipstick she looked better, but I'm gonna put someone. A what if? Uh, Not to be rude again, but it's just a face. It's not really my thing. So we're only basing this off physical. If I met these people, it would be different. But I like the red hair. The bun's a little bit weird. Again, the lipstick goes way too strong. There's potential, but like somewhat. She's really cute. Holy moly. Hopa Berry. I'm just be honest. She is also very cute. I'm gonna put middle. Again, she's like kind of rocking the Albert Wesker, like flipping it up. It's just not really my type. I'm gonna put it middle. She's pretty cute. I like the smile. I'm gonna put someone. She is also pretty cute. I'm gonna put someone. Not my type. Again, they look like the grandmas that would give me cookies on a Saturday or something. I'm gonna just put middle. Uh, Kind of boring. I like the hair, but I'm gonna put someone. Kind of boring, but in like a good way. She's kind of rocking like the Tifa hairstyle, kind of. I'll put someone. I don't know. It's not the moles. It's not the moles. Some would say moles are pretty attractive, but I don't know. I'm gonna put someone unattractive. She's alright. Uh, I can't really tell to be not to be rude again. I'm gonna have to keep saying that because this kind of video, you're gonna have to be open-minded. We're not doing this to be rude. We're not doing this to be mean. We're doing this to find out my type. If you want to find out your type too, you can do it. Again, there's a difference between being mean and being mean on purpose and then just being mean for the sakes of a survey. So I don't know. I can't really tell if he's a man or a woman, so I'm just gonna be honest and say very unattractive. And someone. She's cute, kinda. I like the blonde hair, the nice smile. As a dude, he's kind of attractive. I could see why women would be into this guy. He's muscled up. He has a nice smile. He has the short Nathan Drake hair. I can see it. Unfortunately, I'm not a woman, but I can appreciate that this man is an attractive man. I'm not saying he's ugly. He's actually very attractive. But to me, I just wouldn't. She's pretty cute. I like the eyeliner. Um, Kind of looks like the grandma that might be might be a little bit freaky. I don't know. Someone. I like the hair. Uh, I really like the hair. She has a cute kind of squishy face almost. So I like the braids. They're all right. We're kind of getting a little bit samey here again. Not being racist, but still, it's kind of getting the same hairstyle. I mean, so. Uh, like again, I'm seeing the same hairstyles. It's not the people I'm talking about. It's the same hair. So she's all right. Just, eh. Yeah, I swear I'm seeing the same hair. I don't know if it's like AI generated or not. That would probably be better because then I wouldn't be mean to these people if they are real. So she's all right. Um, she's old. Eh. I like the hair, ponytail. I like the hair again. Also like the hair. Kind of looks the same, but just without the hair, like, flowing out. I like the bun. She looks like another high school teacher that I would have gone to high school with. Hmm. I'm gonna just put someone. Kind of looks like a nurse. Kind of. Somewhat. Kind of boring. She also just looks like a high school teacher. Maybe like somewhat. Not really. She does not rock that short hair. Um, she's okay. She's kind of looks like she'd be freaky too. I don't know. Middle. Not really. Kind of reminds you of Mary Jane from Spider-Man 2, kind of. I like the braid. I like the smile. As a dude, kind of looks like the Mario mustache, kind of. A bit too skinny. I like them with a little bit, food in their bun, a little bit of food up there. Not too skinny, not too fat. She looks cute. Oh, no, no, no. Maybe. She's a granny, man. Like, this is like pure granny energy. Like, you wouldn't really do anything to her. Maybe she's like kind of a freak, but like, would you date her if you were like younger? I'm not sure. So, man, it's not that she's unattractive. It's just that I don't want to hurt granny's feelings. Like, maybe I don't know, but it's not that she's ugly. It's just that I wouldn't date like a super nice granny. She looks cute. I like the red hair. And it's alright. It's just boring. Some of them are just very like boring looking, no personality. Like these feel very stock images, most of them. Again, I'm not calling them ugly or anything. They just look kind of boring to me. She's cute. She's also cute. She has a nice smile. She's alright. That's Mr. Negative from the Spider-Man game. And it looks like a Tanisha again. I swear I keep seeing the same hairstyle. And not really. Respectfully. Not really. Respectfully. A bit too skinny. Respectfully. It's not that I have high standards or anything. I just know my type. So, I don't think that half really works, honestly. Not really. She's alright. She has a cute smile. A little bit boring. We're almost done. We're almost done. Then we will reveal our type. Sorry if it's a little bit samey, but it kind of feels very samey, most of these. So I like the hair. It's just a little bit too wacky. Like you got struck by lightning or something. Not really. Wasn't that the first image? I could have swore that was the first image. I think she's alright. How often does it happen to you that while you are watching television, you have a fatal heart attack? All the time, man. Every time I'm watching, I don't know, House of the Dragon or Star Wars, the Clone Wars, I'm all like, oh, that's so good. So yeah, I'm gonna have to be honest. Sorry, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Usually never. I don't usually have fatal heart attacks, so put never right there. Just a few more questions, then you'll get your report. Indicate how much you agree that each of these apply to you. I am likely to think about, Susnu when I mean attractive person. I'm not gonna deny, and I'm not gonna agree either. It's just human instinct. That's how we're wired. That's how I'm wired in the Backrooms movie. That's just the way we are. Our caveman brains. In the end of the day, we do think about it. All right. There's some people don't. Some people do. It's not everybody, but to me, I kind of do. That's just the way my caveman brain is wired. It's like basic instincts, like breathing air. Sometimes a thought goes through my head when I see an attractive person. That's just the way it is. I'm not gonna do it, obviously. I need to know the person first. We need a vibe. There needs to be consent. But regardless, you should always have consent. All right? I'm not taking this into a different meaning or anything. I do have internet connection. Stop lying. I will just put somewhat agree because that's the way the caveman brain is. I am someone who is original, comes up with new ideas. Eh, not really. Not really. So I keep things organized. Totally agree. I like my stuff clean. I sympathize with other feelings. Agree. That's important. I am someone who is temperamental, gets emotional easy. Not really. So I am skilled in handling social situations. Agree. Not the best, but not. In political matters, where do your views fall on the scale from left, progressive to right? I do not care about politics at all. It means absolutely nothing to me. So I'm gonna just put center. Which of these categories describe you? Select all that apply. American, Indian. I am Latino. I may not look like it, but I am Hispanic. So your current relationship. I'm single. To get a report via email and sign up, or oh come on, otherwise leave it blank and hit submit. No, I'm not sending you my email. How polyamorous rather than monogamous would your ideal romantic relationship be? If you don't know what poly is, it's that you basically make out with a ton of other people while still having a partner. I'm not into that. I like my wifey just for me. I don't like sharing, alright? Call me selfish, but when someone takes a bite from my cookie, I get a little bit mad. I want the whole pie. I want the whole cookie. So I am monogamous. On a scale from cool to nerd, I am on the cool side. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm just gonna be somewhat disagree. I'm a little bit of a nerd, so tend to manipulate others to get my way. Not really. You know, if I got my way, I'd have 10 trillion subscribers. I'd be collabing with Mr. Beast, Logan Paul, the Surfer Bro YouTubers. Not really. I am a narcissist. No, the word narcissist means egotistical, self-focused, and vain. My brother is, that's for damn sure. But me, not really. I can admit when I'm wrong. You know, I look in the mirror, I'm just all like, whatever. Narcissist usually means they always think they're right and they love themselves. There can be no other. It's like talking to a brick wall. And I'm willing to hear people out if they're, speaking sense. So I wouldn't necessarily say I'm a narcissist. To what extent would your ideal romantic relationship involve gender stereotypical roles and traditional gender norms? I'm kind of open to anything. Surprise me. I don't mind being a sugar baby to a sugar mommy if we both love each other and all that. I don't mind that she makes more money than me. I can be out. That's perfectly fine. If it makes you happy, it makes you happy. So that stuff never really mattered to me. Again, I'm not going to be like a fat, ugly slouch that just sits on the couch all day. I'm going to do stuff around the house or something or in a what if scenario. So can you stop doing that? All right. If someone prefer non-traditional roles, I would say that, I guess. To what extent would your ideal romantic relationship involve gender stereotypical role? I could have sworn I pressed it. We may release a free web app to match you as accurately as possible to people you may be interested in. If we do, would you like us to email you when it's ready? No, thank you. Would I prefer being born into a body of a different biological? That's a touchy subject, so I'm just going to say no. I'm perfectly happy with my dingling, so I'm just going to disagree. I would enjoy if I were to act dominant during activity with a partner. It really depends. Consent is very important. If she likes it like that, you gotta ask. So, not ask during because that can be a huge turnoff. So maybe ask beforehand, like when the mood is right, and you're all like, "Can I act like Jack Sparrow, my love?" And be all like, "Oh, shiver me timbers," while getting dominant or something. So some would agree, but just remember to get consent before. Again, it might be a huge turnout, but it's important. It's important these days. Can you let me? Can you let me? All right. Somewhat agree. I would enjoy it if I were to act submissive during activity of a partner. I don't mind it if she's really in the mood. I've been with dominant females before, other sex, so It's not, it's kind of a turn on if you're into that, but like if I'm getting pegged, then it's kind of a turn off. There's a limit to how much I can do. So I'm gonna just put somewhat agree, I guess. It's not that I'm a beta or cuck or anything. So I don't think that's what submissive means in this context. But regardless, I do like it being in the middle. Unless she asks for something different, then by all means, we can try something else. So somewhat agree. I would enjoy it if a partner of mine were to act dominant during activity with me. Again, I don't mind. She can Amazon me if you don't know what that is. I'm sorry I said that. You don't need to know. She can Amazon me if she wants to, if it makes her happy. But again, it really just depends on the limit. So I'm going to just put somewhat. I would enjoy it if a partner of mine were to act submissive. I wouldn't mind if she's into that. So agree, I guess. Which of these best describes your preferred dynamic during activity? Uh, I'd say take turns, I guess, or plain. Sometimes vanilla is like the best, I guess. So I guess I'll just say switch. If she makes her happy and all that. But I'm just gonna say I say switch. There's no harm in switching it up. Sometime be willing to date someone whose political view are the opposite of mine. I can agree. It really just depends on the person. Like if they keep shoving it down my throat about their politics views and all that, I'm gonna get real tired of it. But if it's like a middle line, we can agree, we can disagree, and then we can kiss and slap each other in the butt and make salad with each other, then it's fine. So I'm gonna just put somewhat agree. How important is religion in your life? A little important. Doesn't matter much to me these days, respectfully. I think I picked the wrong choice, but would you like to see your custom report now? Please don't make me pay for it. Otherwise, this was a huge waste of time. So, hey, stop. Your main type. Well, they're right. She was probably the most attractive I saw on the list. So they are right about that. The second one, I'm not sure. They're right about that one. I'll give it that. She has a cute smile. I like Asian women, and I like the hair. I also like the blonde. I like her smile, but this one is probably the best. I like the bangs and all that, the curly hair. She's really cute. I won't deny that. So she's probably like my go-to type. So they did get that right. This one not so much. This one kinda like 80%. This one like a 70%. This was like a 100%. So they did get that right. Your auxiliary type. You also show interest in people quite different from your main type. They're not wrong. I think they're cute. They're pretty cute. These three women. So I think they're attractive. Next page. Okay. What's going on? You gotta load. So sorry, this is a little bit anticlimactic, but the second page blew up. Like I said, the page is really weird. It's very wonky. It's very glitchy. I kept pressing it. I kept retrying. I did everything, and it would just not load. So the second page was probably my dislikes and all that. But if you watched the video, I guess you would already know what my dislikes were. I guess it just would have summed it up. So does this thing actually work? I'm not gonna deny it kind of did. There were like 3 out of 4 of my types in there that I would consider, attractive to. So, yeah, this is like 30 minutes of me possibly being racist or mean to people. It was not like that. This was all just for enjoyment, for fun, and all that. It's already like 30 minutes again. I can't believe it's been that long. But it is some pretty important stuff. You want to try it out? It's right there. .org or something survey. It's very glitchy. Again, at least for me. I don't know if it'll work better on phones or something. But yeah, I cannot deny it did actually cook. It might have actually cooked a little bit. I don't know if it's like AI and all that, my brain waves or something, but yeah, it did cook. I was attracted to 3 out of 4 of them. So, does the internet know who you are if you fill out the answers? Kinda, yeah. So yeah, I think that's about it. If you want to try it out again, and again, I need to clarify, I'm not trying to be mean or rude or racist. It's all just for fun. I know there's a lot of people that could look at it that way. So no, this was just for fun. So I think that's about it. Take care.